Anna lives in a world full of hardship and oppression. Every day she works under the control of her owner in a ruthless plantation. The vast dry land is merciless, with no compassion to be found. Anna's hands are wounded, and her body is under constant pressure from long hours of labor. But in her heart, there is something called hope that she never lets go of. Hope that originates from her past and the bitter memories of those days. Her daily life in these harsh conditions has turned into an endless cycle. But in the dead of night, when everyone else is asleep, she thinks about the future. A future in which she is free. A future where nothing will stand in her way from reaching her goal. Anna's life on this plantation becomes more and more like hell each day. She works from dawn to dusk under intense heat, with the sun burning down relentlessly. She spends hours in endless fields, working on soil that offers no mercy, and her body is covered in blisters and wounds, yet none of this can stop her. She knows that from the pain and suffering she endures, something greater must be built. She must fight for her freedom. In Anna's mind, this pain means something bigger. It means she must resist for her own freedom and for the freedom of others. If this story inspired you and you want to hear more like it, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. In the dead of night, when all the other slaves are asleep, Anna thinks about the silence of the night. When no one else is watching, she can plan in her heart. She dreams of a future where she is the ruler of her life, and no one can chain her down. At night, when she sleeps beside the other slaves, she decides that one day she will leave this place. She will go to a place where nothing can force her to work on this plantation. She never forgets that in her mind she is free, even if her body is under pressure. This thought, in the quiet of the night, gives her the motivation to rise up with all her strength and go back to work the next day. Every night when Anna returns from her work, her mind is filled with plans and possibilities. She secretly thinks about the future, a future where she won't be forced to submit to anyone. She looks at the stars and says, "These are the freedoms I will obtain." She knows that she must use every moment to reach freedom. In the dead of night, Anna's mind remains filled with hope and the decision to break free from the chains. Anna follows the harsh commands of her owner every day, but in her heart, she knows that one day she will no longer need to do this. She has promised herself that she will leave this place one day. Anna will never submit to oppression. She wants to rebuild her life, and nothing can stop her in this journey. In her heart, she knows that freedom is the only thing that can lift her out of this hell. Anna lives in the heart of a merciless world, where every day she and the other slaves endure unbearable hardships to survive. She works every day in a vast and dusty plantation, on lands where no mercy can be found, and the only thing weighing on her shoulders is the heavy burden of work and oppression. Her hands are full of wounds and blood, her body completely worn out from the exhausting tasks. No one here shows any compassion for Anna or the others. Her owner never sees them as anything other than tools for labor. They hold no value except for the work they can provide. In these conditions, Anna continues to keep the flame of freedom alive in her heart. Despite all these hardships, Anna reminds herself every day and every moment that she is not just a slave, but a human being. She cannot continue this endless life full of pain. That's why, when the day ends and Anna goes to rest by her bed, her mind never drifts away from these hardships. Anna thinks about the day she will find a way to break free from this situation. She can't submit to this. This life has turned into an endless circle for her. With each passing day, Anna realizes that in order to achieve freedom, she must go beyond endurance and waiting. At night, when she sleeps beside the other slaves, the only thing Anna thinks about is freedom. Freedom in which nothing can stop her from moving forward. In the dead of night, when everyone is asleep, she looks at the starry sky and says to herself, "Freedom will come to me too."
But this freedom is not just a wish, it is a goal that she must strive for. Anna remembers that the days when she was deprived of her joyful life because of slavery will come to an end. She has decided that she will sacrifice anything for her freedom. In these dark nights, Anna's mind is constantly filled with plans of escape. She knows that in order to break free from this life, she must make a big change, changes that nothing can stop. But she can't easily put these changes into action. She must be careful, because if she makes one mistake, everything could be lost. Every night, Anna secretly thinks about the future, a future where no one will force her to work on this plantation anymore, a future where she will be completely free. Anna sleeps beside the other slaves in the dead of night, but none of this can stop her from the decision she has made. She can no longer endure this situation forever. She has concluded that in order to reach freedom, she must go beyond everything that has been imposed upon her. In the dead of night, whenever she looks at her ceiling, at the sky and the stars shining in it, she says, "I can be free like them." Anna remembers that she once told her mother, "One day I will become a bird and fly in the sky." Now, in the dead of night, she brings this dream back to life for herself. She doesn't want to live only in dreams. She wants to turn this dream into reality. Anna knows that to achieve freedom, she must take action. She must decide how to escape this endless life. She knows that nothing can stop her.
After years of enduring pain and suffering, Anna gradually realized that in order to achieve freedom, she needed more than just patience and waiting. She could no longer spend her whole life hoping for a brighter future that others would grant her. In the dead of night, when all the other slaves were asleep, Anna thought more than ever about how she could escape from this situation. She thought of freedom, of a world without chains and slavery. But at the same time, she knew that it wouldn't be easy. She had to plan for her freedom, to carefully think through the strategy that would release her from this prison. Anna had secretly found books during the day she worked alongside the other slaves. These books contained information about escape methods used by other slaves and stories of those who had managed to break free from captivity. At night, when everyone else was asleep, Anna would sit next to a dim light and flip through the pages of these books. These books gave her hope and motivation. Anna understood that she could not fight for freedom just emotionally. She needed a strategy. She had to think carefully about every step, every movement, and every decision she made. Nothing should be done hastily or carelessly. In these long nights, Anna would tell herself, "Freedom is a goal that must be fought for. I must think about every detail. Nothing should make me doubt." She had decided that nothing would stop her from reaching her goal. Every day she worked on the plantation, her mind was filled with plans to escape. She would say to herself, "One day I will leave this place. Nothing can stop me." Anna used every moment to plan her escape. At night she would secretly think about her future. She knew that she had to get out of the plantation where she was held captive. But what worried Anna the most was the escape route. She had to pass through an area where no other slave had ever escaped. Even if she managed to get past the walls and fences, what would she do next? The outside world was still unknown to Anna. She didn't know what obstacles might be in her way, but something deep inside her told her that this was the only option to break free from this life. Every day, when Anna returned from her work, her mind became more occupied with plans and possibilities. She knew exactly what steps she needed to take, even when she was in the field working. Her mind was constantly processing what needed to be done next. Should she wait for the dark nights, or should she act when everything is calm? Nothing should lead to haste. Anna had realized that only with care and planning could she escape from this situation. Freedom is not something that can be obtained by chance. Anna must reach it, and nothing will stand in her way. In the dark nights when Anna slept beside the other slaves, she would speak of freedom in her heart. She was tired of being a slave. The days when her life was controlled by others were coming to an end. Anna had decided to take command of her own life and step into a free world.
In the dead of night, with every breath she took, she felt closer to her goal. She would never turn back from this path. She would reach a place where she no longer had to submit to oppression. Anna remembered that in the past, when she thought of freedom, she always had this image in her mind, that one day she would be a free bird. At night she would look at the sky and say, "I will be free like these birds. One day I too will spread my wings and fly in the sky."
At night, on the plantation, when everyone else had gone to sleep, Anna made a big decision in her heart. She could no longer bear this life. Years of slavery and oppression had kept only one thing alive in her heart: hope. Hope for freedom, a hope that constantly spun in her mind. But today, she decided that this hope must turn into action. She could no longer stay in this merciless cage. Her mind was restless, and the only thing that screamed in her heart was that she had to escape from here. Anna, in the dead of night, when all the other slaves were asleep, quietly got up. Her steps were soft and silent because she didn't want anyone to realize that she was ready to make a big change. Nothing could make her back down from this decision. She knew that this decision would change her life forever, but as much as she feared, her courage was stronger. Courage to face oppression, to leave behind years of captivity, and to move toward freedom. Anna remembered that she had always thought about freedom in the dead of night, but now was the time to fight for it. The plan she had in her mind was intricate and precise. She had secretly asked others to help her. They didn't know what Anna was thinking, but there was something in her eyes that non-verbally told them she was ready to escape from this life, even if it meant accepting great risks. Nothing could stop her from her path. With each step she took forward, she felt closer to freedom. But in her heart there were still fears. Fears of losing her way, fears of being caught, fears of being discovered. But Anna could no longer listen to these fears. She had to move forward. Anna remembered that in the past years, she had never seriously thought that escaping from slavery was really possible. She always talked about the dangers, but had never taken a step. Now that she had made up her mind, she knew this path was full of danger. But for her, there was only one choice left: to escape. She had to break free from this prison, even if it meant sacrificing everything to achieve freedom. Her decision was stronger than anything she had ever felt before. In the dead of night, Anna would look at the sky and think about the birds flying freely in that sky. She imagined herself in a place where she would no longer have to hide and be afraid. She wanted to reach a place where nothing could stop her. Anna thought about freedom, freedom in which nothing would be taken from her. In the dead of night, she asked herself, "How can I obtain this freedom?" But as she thought about this question, suddenly her mind became clear. She knew she had to put her plan into action. She had to use every moment and be ready for the day she would leave this place. Freedom was no longer a dream for Anna. It was a real goal that she must achieve. Anna quietly said to herself in the dead of night, "I will have this. Nothing can stop me." With this decision, from that night on, Anna began to carry out every move with greater care. She had promised herself that she would break free from this prison. In the dead of night, nothing could stop her anymore. Her decision was final, and she thought of only one thing: freedom.
In the dead of night, when all the other slaves were deeply asleep, Anna gathered the courage and put her big decision into action. She would never forget how for the first time she was certain of her decision in the silence of the night. As every part of her body complained from exhaustion with each movement, she took each step on the predetermined path. Her steps were quiet and soft because she knew that any extra sound could ruin her plan. Anna quietly fled from the house where she had lived for years to a place where nothing could control her. This was the first step on a journey she didn't know how it would end, but she had no fear of venturing into the unknown. Every moment in the dead of night was a huge choice for Anna. Escaping from captivity meant leaving the world she had known for years, even if that world was full of pain and suffering. As Anna crossed the boundaries of the plantation, she thought about all the things she had been accustomed to for so long. The plantation, the vast fields, the owner's oppression, and those difficult days. But along with these thoughts, something in her heart told her to only look forward. Nothing could stop her now. Anna crossed the dry, endless fields in the dead of night. The path was full of fear and anxiety. She didn't know what awaited her at the end of this journey. The forests, rivers, and lands that were unknown to her were all potential obstacles. But Anna, in this moment, thought only of one thing: freedom. Freedom that nothing could take from her. From now on, no wall or fence could stop her from reaching her dreams. She had made the decision that even if it cost her life, she had to escape from this hell. After several hours of walking quickly and quietly, Anna reached a large river. The sound of the water was heard in the dark night, and the sound felt like a soothing melody to her. But the river was also a big challenge. She had to cross it. Anna carefully and cautiously stepped into the water. Her feet sank into the cold water, and she felt the chill penetrate her bones. But something inside her told her that this was the only way to her salvation. When she reached the other side of the river, she breathed a sigh of relief, but she still had a long way to go. This was just one step of the long, difficult escape journey. Anna kept going with all her strength and determination, each step bringing her closer to a new world. This endless and tough journey seemed like it was designed for her, but Anna never looked back. She only thought about her goal, a goal that in the dead of night only she knew she had to reach. In the dead of night, on unfamiliar roads, Anna felt freedom for the first time. Every step she took guided her to a new world, a place where the fear of losing her way would no longer stop her. In these dark nights, when she stood beside the river, she looked up at the sky and said to herself, "This is just the beginning. I will be free."
After escaping the plantation, Anna entered a world where nothing was familiar to her. Everything was new and unknown. Every step she took, she felt herself getting closer to freedom, but this path was filled with dangers. In the dead of night, Anna had to pass through dark forests filled with dense trees. Nothing could distract her mind from the decision she had made. She knew that if she stopped now, everything might be lost. She had to keep moving. As she entered the forest in the dead of night, the sound of her footsteps on the dry trees and fallen leaves could be heard. The wild sounds of animals echoed in the corners of the forest, and the rustling sound was a constant reminder that she had to move quietly. The chances of being caught increased with every moment, but Anna never gave in to these fears. Her mind was filled with painful memories of the past, but her heart was directed towards freedom. Anna moved quickly through the night, each step bringing her closer to a new world. With every hour that passed, the distance between her and the past she was trapped in grew larger. She thought of the dangers ahead, but something in her heart told her to keep moving forward. "Being free is not just a dream for me," she said to herself. "It's something I must achieve. Nothing can stop me." A few hours later, Anna reached another river. This river, like the other obstacles, instilled fear in her heart. She had to cross it to continue, but this time the river was deeper and faster than before. Anna paused for a moment and looked at it, feeling the cold water of the river seeping into her body. She wanted to rest for a while, but she knew that every moment wasted could put her at risk. So she plunged into the river with all her strength. As Anna struggled to keep herself afloat and cross the water, nothing could stop her. She passed through the night, unafraid of anything. When she reached the other side of the river, for the first time in her life, she felt like she was closer to freedom. It was only one step of the journey, but for Anna, every step mattered. However, the dangers were not over.
She knew that she had to stay in the forest and cross it because no one knew where she was. A guard could appear at any moment, or someone might spot her. Anna thought only about her next steps. She never looked back, only forward, towards freedom, towards that unknown world she was destined to enter one day. As Anna moved towards the mountains in the dead of night, she said to herself, "With every moment that passes, I am getting closer to freedom." Nothing could stop her on this path. There was no turning back from this journey. This was a fight for freedom, and Anna saw nothing but reaching her goal.
Anna walked through the dark and terrifying nights, passing through the trees of the forest. Nothing in this unknown world was familiar to her. She remembered that with every step she took, she was getting closer to the free world, but this uneven and dangerous path could easily divert her from her goal. The thick trees and the land full of branches and leaves constantly led her astray. Anna never imagined that crossing the forest would be so hard. In the dead of night, the sounds of wild animals echoed from the corners of the forest, and these sounds only added to her growing worries. Every faint noise in the dark revived her fears. But Anna never gave in to fear. She remembered that she had always been afraid of difficult tasks, but with every challenge she faced, she decided that nothing could stop her. At night, only the sound of her breathing could be heard. She tried to make her footsteps as quiet as possible, so in case the guards came near, she wouldn't be caught. With every step forward, she felt closer to freedom. But still, her heart was filled with doubt and worry. For a moment, she told herself, "The further I go, the more dangers will follow, but I must keep going. Nothing can stop me." Anna knew that she had to face all her fears and worries. She could no longer submit to this life. Her decision to escape captivity had become more than a wish. It had become a necessity for her. In the dead of night, with every step she took, Anna thought about the days when she worked on the plantation, holding on to only one hope: freedom. She thought that no one could take this hope away from her. In these dark nights, Anna thought about freedom in her heart. She thought of a world without chains, where nothing could put pressure on her. This freedom was what she needed, something that with every step she took, she was getting closer to making it a reality. In the thick trees, Anna thought that even if this path was filled with danger, she had to continue it. She couldn't give up, because every moment she lost could mean losing everything. When she looked at the sky in the dead of night, she felt a new hope blossoming in her heart. The starry sky, where the light of freedom shone. She never gave up on her hope. Anna remembered that she had always thought about freedom, about that moment when she could escape from this dark and merciless world. This dark world could no longer stop her. Every movement she made was toward freedom, and nothing could make her turn back on this path. Anna stepped into the dead of night, and for the first time in her life, among the trees and deep in the forest, she felt like she was truly closer to freedom.
Anna walked through the dark and terrifying nights, passing through the trees of the forest. Nothing in this unknown world was familiar to her. She remembered that with every step she took, she was getting closer to the free world, but this uneven and dangerous path could easily divert her from her goal. The thick trees and the land filled with branches and leaves constantly led her astray. Anna never imagined that crossing the forest would be so hard. In the dead of night, the sounds of wild animals echoed from the corners of the forest, and these sounds only added to her growing worries. Every faint noise in the dark revived her fears, but Anna never gave in to fear. She remembered that she had always been afraid of difficult tasks, but with every challenge she faced, she decided that nothing could stop her. At night, only the sound of her breathing could be heard. She tried to make her footsteps as quiet as possible, so in case the guards came near, she wouldn't be caught. With every step forward, she felt closer to freedom, but still her heart was filled with doubt and worry. For a moment she told herself, "The further I go, the more dangers will follow, but I must keep going. Nothing can stop me." Anna knew that she had to face all her fears and worries. She could no longer submit to this life. Her decision to escape captivity had become more than a wish. It had become a necessity for her. In the dead of night, with every step she took, Anna thought about the days when she worked on the plantation, holding on to only one hope: freedom. She thought that no one could take this hope away from her. In these dark nights, Anna thought about freedom in her heart. She thought of a world without chains, where nothing could put pressure on her. This freedom was what she needed, something that with every step she took, she was getting closer to making it a reality. Among the thick trees, Anna thought that even if this path was filled with danger, she had to continue it. She couldn't give up, because every moment she lost could mean losing everything. When she looked at the sky in the dead of night, she felt a new hope blossoming in her heart. The starry sky where the light of freedom shone. She never gave up on her hope. Anna remembered that she had always thought about freedom, about that moment when she could escape from this dark and merciless world. This dark world could no longer stop her. Every movement she made was toward freedom, and nothing could make her turn back on this path. Anna stepped into the dead of night, and for the first time in her life, among the trees and deep in the forest, she felt like she was truly closer to freedom.
After a long journey through the night, Anna arrived at a small village. The nights were still filled with fear and anxiety for her. The forests, rivers, and numerous obstacles she had passed now led her to an unknown place, a small village where simple people lived. In the dead of night, when she arrived, Anna knew this moment was critical. This could be the last place where she could find shelter, and for the first time in her life, feel safe. At first, she was afraid of the villagers. She remembered that they had always been told that no slave should appear in these areas. But something inside Anna told her that here, maybe she could find refuge. The fear of being recognized in this village still lingered, but there was a bright hope in her heart. Anna decided not to approach anyone and stay in the shadows. She didn't want to take any risks, but she had no choice but to trust these people. Anna slowly moved to a corner of the village where the houses were clustered together. At night, no one walked the streets, and this was an opportunity for Anna to step into the village without being seen. Anna remembered that in the past, people on the plantation had always said that no slave should be part of the new world they had built. But Anna was no longer known as a slave. She was a free human being who had, in this moment, achieved her freedom. Carefully and without anyone noticing, she reached a small old house on the outskirts of the village. Anna approached the locked house in the dead of night and quietly entered. In her heart, she knew this was the first step of her new life. She climbed to the roof of the house where she could rest and recover from the exhaustion of the journey. Every small sound in the night made her heart race, but this time she was no longer afraid of losing her way. Anna thought about how nothing could stop her from reaching her goal. A few hours later, when the sky lightened and the sun began to rise from behind the mountains, Anna decided to come down from the roof. She had taken shelter in the dead of night, but now a new day had begun. For the first time in her life, Anna felt that nothing could stop her. She was free. Even if no one in this village accepted her, for the first time, she had a place where, as a free human being, she could breathe. Anna told herself, "I am no longer a slave. This is where I can start over." These words echoed in her heart. She could now look at a new world, a world where nothing could stop her from continuing her path. For the first time, Anna truly felt that a new life had begun. She was now in a place where she could breathe, a place where no one could humiliate her anymore.
After days and nights of hard escape and struggling with difficult conditions, Anna arrived in a small village that seemed to be her last refuge. A village where life flowed with calmness and simplicity, a place where the people had close, warm relationships with each other. As Anna entered this village, she still carried anxiety and concern in her heart. The fear of being recognized, The fear that someone might discover she was a runaway slave still lingered with her. But something inside her told her that this was an opportunity she shouldn't let slip away. At first, Anna kept herself hidden from the villagers. At night, when everyone was asleep, she would go to a small, dimly lit house and rest there. No one knew where Anna had come from or what her past had been, but she knew very well that for the first time in her life, she was experiencing something called freedom. Her life in the past had been shaped by others, but now she could begin a new life in this village without any fear or supervision. In the first days, Anna spent most of her time in a corner of the village. She observed the villagers' way of life and how they treated each other. The people in the village were very simple and hospitable, but Anna still felt that she couldn't completely trust them. Because of her past and the life she had left behind, she continued to live in secret. As time passed, Anna realized that in this village there was an opportunity for a new life to begin. One day, while talking to one of the women in the village, she said, "I've always searched for freedom, a place where I can live, not where I live at the hands of others." The woman smiled and replied, "Freedom is a right for all of us, and no one should have their freedom taken away." These words from the village woman gave Anna new hope and energy. She began to think that maybe one day she could help others escape the oppression and suffering she had endured for years. Anna gradually began to get to know the people of the village and noticed that just as they were kind to her, they showed kindness to others as well. In this village, Anna felt safety and peace for the first time in her life. She no longer had to live in the shadows. She could live in the daylight, and no longer did she need to hide. But despite all this, something in Anna's heart still held her back from fully trusting these people. She still didn't know how much she could rely on them. Anna thought about freedom in her heart. She knew that now she had to take stronger steps. She didn't just want to get used to her new life, she wanted to make the most of it and help others achieve freedom as well. Anna had decided that one day, not only for herself, but also for others who were still in captivity, she would take action. She knew deep down that she could bring about bigger changes. Changes that would not only benefit her, but also all those who had once lived in the hell of slavery.
In her new village, Anna felt freer with each passing day. She was no longer just a runaway slave. She had become a symbol of courage and hope for others. The people of the village respected her, but Anna still remembered what had brought her here. She could no longer think only of herself. The days when she saw herself trapped in a cruel life were forever gone. Now she lived in a new world, but this new world was not only for herself. She wanted to build something for others as well. Anna remembered the days when she worked alongside other slaves on the plantation, always wondering what would happen if she were ever free. She never imagined that day would really come. But now, in the free world, Anna thought about those who were still in captivity. She thought about those still trapped in the hell of slavery. She realized that she had to take a bigger step. Anna no longer wanted to live alone in this free world. She wanted to help others escape from oppression and injustice. She knew that in order to achieve this goal, she needed to take a new path. She decided that in this village, she would help those who were facing similar struggles. Anna knew that she could show others that true freedom was not just a dream, but something that could be achieved. She was no longer fighting for herself alone. She was fighting for the thousands of people who had once been in the same condition as she. Every day, Anna poured all her energy into helping others. Not only had she rebuilt her own life, but she also gave others the opportunity to start a new life. Alongside others, she constantly thought about different ways to change their living conditions. Anna had come to believe that nothing could break a person's will. Even if someone had been oppressed in the past, there was always an opportunity for a new beginning. As Anna looked at the sky in the dead of night, she remembered how once she was just a slave thinking about freedom. Now she had reached a place where she could help others achieve the same freedom she had gained. In the dead of night, when she looked at the moon, she smiled and said to herself, "This is just the beginning. We are free, and nothing can stop us from reaching our goals." Thank you for sticking with us until the end of this video. If you'd like to hear more stories like this, make sure to subscribe to the channel right now. Like the video and share your thoughts in the comments below.